All right, how are you doing? Welcome. My name is Willis Raburu, aka the Wild Willis, and I'm in there like swimwear, because swimwear gets in there. Everything is okay, everything is nice. Karibu sana Wabebe! And today, let me tell you what, I am so excited because I have watched this amazing gentleman just do amazing things. I mean, I actually concur with Goldman Sachs, who called him the most intriguing entrepreneur. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, I just like to let you know that self-made tastes way better. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about Mr. Bret. Welcome, Bret. How you doing?
Willis, I'm fantastic. Thanks for the great intro.
I first of all, like I told you earlier on, I'm a huge fan of you, and also a huge fan of one of your great friends, Rick Ross.
He's become, because of my brands.
Yeah.
We built a relationship, and he's become one of my closest friends.
Right, and let's just start there, because I mean, how do you build and build some of these friendships that then work for you, both at a personal level because you gain a friend, of course, and then also just as an entrepreneur? How do you build some of these friendships?
It started for me years ago, where I realized I just want to be with people that I build a relationship with, that I know that it's not going to be a transaction. And everybody, whether it's Ross or Wayne or Wiz or Khaled or Jay, what they all had in common was they loved my brands.
Right.
They leaned into my brands. And I said, I'm going to lean right back into them. And we've built great relationships. That's how I think about it's real. It's not fake. It's I don't want it to end.
Yeah. And so how did you start out? I know, and I like that you say it's real, because I always find that it's better to push something or to talk about something from a very authentic space. So whether it's Bumbu with Wayne or Belaire with Rose, I think it looks very authentic. They're enjoying themselves. They're talking, and even the series you had, it was real authentic conversations. But let me dial it back a bit. And how did you get started in the business? How did it all begin? How did Sovereign Brands come through?
Started a little over 20 years ago. I was a kid who had tons of ideas, but never picked one, because I was always afraid it was the wrong idea and I'm going to waste my time. And one day I just said, fuck it, I got to stop. I got to pick something. And I picked the liquor industry.
Right.
And the first 5 years was horrifying. But it was also the best thing that ever happened, because I learned everything.
Why was it
lots
horrifying?
of mistakes. Well, business-wise, the way I built business, I lost my house because I put all my money back in this business. I got the IRS swept my bank account, which is our government, our tax authority, because I put all my money back in the business. So from a business perspective, it wasn't doing well. But what I ended up realizing is how to build a business,
right,
and how to do it the right way. So it's been fantastic ever since.
Yeah. And so how do you, because I'm sure there are many entrepreneurs who are going to watch this, and you said you learned how to build a business. What are some of your tips on how do you build a successful business?
I have lots of sayings, I believe.
Yeah.
So one of the mistakes I made was relying on other people to help me.
Okay.
They say they tell me they'll do certain things, and it never happens. And it's part of my ethos now, where I assume no one's going to help me. I have to assume I'm the only one going to do it. I have to assume I have to make it happen. I'll use a Nipsey Hussle quote.
Yeah.
Pop your trunk, go to the corner and just go do it yourself.
Right.
And I believe that's how you do it. I believe that I have an expression, if anybody's going to fuck this up, I want it to be me.
Yeah.
I want it to be my decision. I'm going to lean into what I think is right. Lots of sayings like that, which helped me, and it still helps me today, because I still have that view.
And so that, and even as that happens, and I love Nipsey Hussle, by the way, rest in peace, the marathon continues. So that, what would you say? I'm sure other days, because I get one of the things because I love what I do. So sometimes, like they say, it doesn't seem like work just because you love what you do. But then, are there days that you have down days, and where does then your motivation come from, just to keep on going and to keep on doing great things?
I think I wouldn't say I have down days. I think every minute of a day can be down, meaning if something goes negative, if something goes wrong, it kills me because I want perfection. I want it to work. I want my team to do great. I want my importers to do great. I want the accounts to do well. So for me, I take it personally. It's probably a bad thing, but I take it personally because I think I'm in each of these brands.
Right.
So that's also part of the motivation. So I came from a place and still come from a place where people don't believe. They don't think it's going to work. You know, I've got this brand, Willis, I don't know if you've seen, called Bumbu. It's a rum.
Yeah.
6 years ago, I launched it. Everybody told me, don't do it.
Right.
It's never going to work. It's not a growing category.
Right.
Don't do it. You can't do premium. 6 years later, we're the #1 premium rum in the world, and it's the fastest growing brand.
Wow.
So I have a big chip on my shoulder to prove people wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, that's always the best way to revenge and stuff like that. So that's great. And now, you also ventured into, most of your partnerships are with, artists, of course, Rick Ross, Lil Wayne, and Khaled. And so talk about the African album with Rick Ross. Where did that idea come from?
So part of what I do is I like leaning in, as I said earlier, on things I just like.
Right.
And I've always been a huge fan of hip hop.
Wow.
And as the brands grew outside the United States, and now they're in like 100 countries, it allowed me to see other music and other genres. And it's been 5-6 years we've been in Africa now. And I get, because I do my own little series called Self-Made, and I get to talk to everybody from Diamond or Yemi or Stonebwoy, all these people. I've learned to love Afrobeats. I'm on piano, different styles of music coming from Africa.
Yeah.
And now it feels like a natural extension where I want to promote and get behind. It's an idea that I had to do an Africa album, we're not going to make any money on this. I want to get behind artists and promote. They don't have to be big name artists. Most of the artists we're talking about are young, up and coming. I want to promote Africa to the rest of the world. And I got Ross on board to do his part in being a megaphone to showcase this.
Yeah. That's, absolutely amazing, first of all. And that you, like I said, you're following something you love, and that is music. And I guess the thing would be like, then just from the artists you mentioned, then it represents different genres and types of music, then bringing it all together, music being the universal language, right? So I think that's absolutely brilliant. Some of the people you have on there, some of my personal favorites as well. I mean, I remember the Diamond Rick Ross, Hallelujah, yeah. So it's amazing to see that you're doing that. But you mentioned something, there, like you said, so you're getting behind artists and music. Do you feel that just like generally, other entrepreneurs, other people should try to do some of the same things, and also to look at it from the way you look at it, because it is growing together. It is actually taking time to invest and listen to the music, enjoy the sound, and see what collaborations are possible. And then, like you said, you sit with the Yemi, Diamond, you get feedback. Do you think other entrepreneurs and business should do the same thing?
I would love to see it. I'll give you an example why I think this is so special. Every song that we've gotten from a producer or an artist, I don't look to see what their Instagram following is,
right,
and what's their social media, and what's their background. It's the music. When I send a song to Ross to jump on, he's never once asked me anything about the artist. He doesn't even know who the artist is.
Right.
He loves the song and he's jumping on the song. And that's what we're doing that I think is different. We're not looking at this from a commercial aspect of, geez, how's it going to play and who's the audience? No, it's about the music.
Right.
It's about the music. It's about the music. I don't care if he's 80 years old or 18 years old. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. When you talked about their social media following, I mean, for this project, yes, it's great to boost that. And I guess it will also boost it whenever an artist says, "Hey, guess what? I had Rick Ross jump on my track," even for the producers and everybody. But then, what is the role that you've seen that then social media plays in building and enhancing, and like you said with Rose, putting a megaphone basically to certain brands?
Look at it this way, Willis. You see artists drop music without talking about it. It just they announce it today, they drop it in a week.
Right.
My goal, Ross's goal, our goal is to promote this. You're talking about it now. The album's not out yet,
right?
And we want to promote the hell out of this, whether it's shooting videos. So a lot of the artists have asked, I'm assuming you're going to shoot the videos in the U.S. No, we're coming to Africa.
Yay!
We're going to go to 6, 7, 8 countries. Film the videos locally, talk about the food, talk about the styles, talk about the clothing, talk about the history of the market. So it's about promoting it in a bigger way. And I think what's neat is because I can fund this. I can do this all myself where I don't need a label. I don't need the distribution. So it allows us to have more creativity in doing what we think is the right way to promote something.
That's absolutely great. I like that you can fund it. Let's talk about what are the things that have made the many brands that have made you be able to fund this. Talk about some of the brands, right? So tell us a little bit of a story about each of them, starting with Belaire. Of course, that's the one that, we're talking about. Most people, by the way, if you look at most birthday parties in Kenya, whenever it's a huge birthday party and it's at a club or a sighting, everybody pops out the Belaire bottles and everybody's just having some fun. So absolutely great. So talk about this. Tell us the story of Belaire.
So it's funny. I tell a story. I think I'm on my 5th successful brand.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that to boast. For anybody who's an entrepreneur and wants to build a business, this is the motivating side. What all 5 brands have in common is no one believed in them. No one thought they would ever work.
Yeah.
And Belaire is a great example. When I launched that brand, I started with rosé first. You don't do that. You got to start with a brut.
Right.
But I wanted to do something different. I wanted to build a name in rosé category first. I put it in a black bottle. They said, "Don't do it. You can't see the liquid."
The black
they
bottle
said we
boys.
couldn't compete with the yes. They said we couldn't compete with the likes of Moet or other big name champagnes. Today, that brand is in 100 countries, and it's killing it. And it's because of it tastes great. The package is amazing. The story is impeccable. And we've got, look at Willis, if you ever have a chance or anybody, we have more followers on Instagram than any other liquor brand.
Yeah.
And it's not that we're advertising our way to that. It's that we're part of the culture, and I want my brands to be part of culture.
All right. And so what about, McQueen, Violet Fog? Yeah. Tell us about those as well.
McQueen and the Violet Fog is an amazing gin that comes from a little town outside of Sao Paulo called Jundiaí in Brazil. It's 21 different botanicals. It tastes like no other gin in the world. And now it's got a sister line extension called McQueen Ultraviolet, which is this beautiful violet color gin with hibiscus. But just all my brands, what's nice about my brands is I believe they're all premium and they can work anywhere in the world because I believe we all want the best products. We all want premium brands.
And then there's also Villain, and then of course the Deacon.
Yep. So 2 new brands. Vion it competes in the cognac category. You can drink it straight. You can mix it any way you want. It's named after Francois Villon, who was an iconoclast. He went against the grain. He went against bad government, bad police. He was ultimately killed by a monk. And some people say the word villain comes from the word Villon.
Ah, right.
And then the Deacon. The Deacon's my newest brand. It's a whiskey from Scotland. It's smoky, it's peated, it's like bonfire, like roasting marshmallows. The name the Deacon comes from, it's amazing.
Yeah.
The name comes from if you're the best at what you do, if you're the best podcaster, if you're the best DJ, if you're the best barber, you're called the Deacon. And it's an amazing brand.
So I'm the Deacon as well.
Say again.
So I'm the Deacon.
You are the deacon. You are definitely the deacon.
All right, thank you so much. So then now, when is, like you said, the album hasn't come out yet. When is the album going to come out, and what can people expect?
I expect it to come out in 25.
Okay.
I expect we're going to be visiting each of the markets that we're going to be shooting videos locally. We're going to be talking about the album from now until then and announcing who's going to be on the album,
right,
from different markets all over Africa. Mm-hmm. And we're doing roundtable discussions. We just did one in Tanzania with Hamisa Rosaray, and a few other artists. We're going to do roundtable discussions in each country, right, promoting the album, promoting music, mm-hmm, talking about music, mm-hmm, talking about the arts. Mm-hmm. And we're going to keep doing it. And we've got great names, whether it's Diamond Platinums or Calligraph Jones or Rosa Ray or Nasty C or Stonebwoy, Davido. Just great names are going to be featured in this.
Right. How did you pick some of them? I mean, some of them, of course, like you said, are big names and some are up and coming. How did you come up with that mix?
It's all based on the music. Right. You know, if you could have the biggest artist in the world, but if the song isn't good, it's not going to play well. Yeah. And my goal for this album, and I told all the artists this, Ross is on each song because he's going to promote it. Right. He wants to get behind this. Yeah. But don't give me songs that are based on Ross's style. I want the songs based on your style, your sound, your music, and let Ross adapt to you. Mm-hmm. And that's what we've done. Mm-hmm. So great producers are involved, great writers are involved, and that's what we want. Mm-hmm. But it's picking the songs. It's about the song. Yeah. Is it a banger? Is it something people can get behind? Mm-hmm. Do my kids like it? Right. That's always a sign for me. Yeah. If my kids like it, then we're on our way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that's the best test. And I mean just the people that you've mentioned there, definitely are going to give it quite the boost. We're absolutely looking forward to that because it's quite a huge investment in the culture that then definitely then has the turnaround of endearing so many people to a brand that's the brands that are already super loved, and that's absolutely great. So
and on top, Willis, as when it's successful, the money that comes in goes back to new music. We're going to keep doing this, keep doing this over and over. Yeah. So I want to make noise for the artists. Okay. I gave a shout out to Ross for going all in on this.
Yeah, and big shout out to Mr. Ricky Rose. Yeah. So I mean, also about the self-made, and why did you decide to do the self-made series? Because I mean, we had athletes there, we had mega celebrities there, musicians there. What was the inspiration behind that?
It was, for me, it was, I hate hearing success stories. Okay. I like hearing the shit that you went through to get there. Right. All the bad stuff that happens, because as an outsider, you think it's easy. You think, I thought this should be easy. I thought, it would happen fast. But hearing the up and coming side, hearing, how hard it can be to get there, that to me motivates people like me because it tells your own story. It tells something else. It tells that anybody can make it happen, that you're going to go through some tough times. Mm-hmm. So that's what the side of the storytelling I like. And I get to hear this from big names in music, in sports, in business, in entertainment, is just hearing the upside, how they got the crap that they went through to get there. I think that's the motivating part.
Does that motivate you as well? Because I'm sure like there are things some nuggets you can get from them as well during some of the sessions.
Every time. Right. I remember one artist I was talking to, he just got his first apartment. Mm-hmm. And he said, Bret, I only have half the furniture I need. I said, why? He says, because I don't want to be comfortable. I want to have that feeling that I need more, I need that fight. Yeah. Rhapsody, who I love as an artist in the US, she'd tell me stories on, if I just had enough money to get to the studio, to take the bus to the studio, I'm done. I'm happy. Yeah. Steve Aoki and the relationship with his father, and how, his father didn't believe in him and he would never achieve anything. And look what he's achieved. Nipsey, just telling his stories on popping the trunk and getting to the corner and selling goods. Ross, his up and coming story. Everyone's got something, and it wasn't easy, but that's the side I like hearing.
So what are some of before I let you go, what are some of your, I know you've given us some of the nuggets, but what are some of your go-tos? Because like there's an interview I watched of Ross, and he was talking about he never leaves money on the table, right? So if you come and you can give him $3 and it's supposed to be $5, we'll find a way to make the $2 in another way, right? So what are some of the principles that have been guiding you? And then secondly, again, there are artists who are watching and saying, hey, maybe should have picked me. What would you tell those artists, just as an encouragement to them, of course? So two things. One, the go-to tips for the entrepreneur, and two, for the artist as well, for music that you love. What are some of the things that you've learned looking at other artists and hearing some of their stories that made them, stand out?
I think I'll give you one nugget that I love.
Right.
And every musical artist I've ever spoken to, I've always asked the same question. Your number one commercial successful song, did you like it? And 99% of the time they've said, no, I didn't like the song. I didn't think it was going to be successful. My team didn't like the song, but they put it out anyway. And what do you learn from that? Don't overthink it. You got to try shit. You got to try it and put it out there. And I think that goes for business. That goes for trying ideas to build a business. Anything you do, if you overthink it, you're going to ruin it. You're not going to be able to, you don't get it. The key is just let it go. Let it go and try. If it doesn't work, fine, move on. Try the next one.
Yeah.
But I think that's a telling sign in the music space that you can learn from.
Yeah.
I think for those artists that I would say this to anybody listening, you're a producer, you're a writer, you're an artist, hit us up directly. Hit us up at any of the brands. We will follow up, and we just want to hear good music. That's it. This is how it started. I was with Larry Gaga, who's used to head up Def Jam for Africa.
Right.
He's got he sent me a song from one of his young artists. Love the song, so now we're doing it. That's it. That's it. If it's a great song, if it's a great beat, we want to do something with it.
Absolutely amazing. I tell you what, we are looking forward to. I'm personally looking forward to, the album, and the fact that you've just chosen to come through to Africa and shoot the content here, experience the views. We got amazing views. Speaking for Kenya, amazing views. We have amazing food. Can't wait for you to come through and try some of the food as well. And also, we have amazing people. You're going to enjoy it in Kenya. I think you'll make Kenya your capital.
I can't wait, but I have one ask, Willis.
Right.
One ask. When we shoot the video in Kenya, can you appear in the video?
Oh, you bet. I will definitely be there. So my catchphrase in Kenya is Wabebe. Loosely translated, it means like, carry them. When you get into the room, loosely, it means carry them. Take everybody with you, lift their spirits, everything. So I say Wabebe. So definitely I'm going to be making some of that noise.
I want to hear that catchphrase on the video, all right?
I'll definitely be there. Wabebe.
I want all the energy you can bring. This is the goal. I want everyone in this, to everyone to be involved, and everyone say that's me. When
you get, if it's about energy, or you're in the right place. You're in Energy Central right here.
I can't wait.
So thank you so much for talking to us, and also for, investing. And I guess one of the things I've personally learned from you is, I guess, just keep on being yourself. Be a true, authentic self in business, in everything.
It's lean in on you.
Yeah.
Don't try to be like anybody else, because it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Lean in on what makes you special.
So I'm going to go ahead and teach you some Swahili words for when you come here. Okay, so do you know how to say hello? Just basic. Let's start there.
So tell me.
So you say, so there are two ways you can say this. So there's the slang and there's the official one. So you can say the normal one is just jambo.
Jambo?
That's just a normal one. It's just saying jambo. But then,
jambo.
If you want to be really dope, you say niaje.
Niaje?
There you go. Yes. Niaje. Niaje.
Niaje?
Yeah, there you go. And then if you're greeting many people, you say niaje wase.
Niaje wase?
There you go.
Listen, I got it down.
You do have it down. Yeah, and then let me see if I can teach you another one. What's another good one I can teach him so that when he comes, it fits right in place? A slang one. First, the bazing. Bazenga, yes. Bazenga is, okay, so you know the deacon, right?
Yeah.
So if you're doing something big here in Kenya, it is, you are called bazenga.
Bazenga.
Yeah, there you go, bazenga.
All right, no, that's my favorite. I'm going to start using that. Bazenga.
There you
So
go.
hold on, let me make sure I understand the definition.
Yeah.
So if someone does something good, if I do something good, you say bazenga.
No. If you are the person who's doing something good, amazing, the boss, basically, like Rick Ross would be the boss. So boss is bazenga.
Bazenga.
Yes.
Oh, I got to tell Ross. Bazenga.
Yeah. Or you can say bazoo, but you know, that's my nickname. So you can use that as well.
No, bazenga. I like that.
So bazenga. Make sure you say bazenga.
Bazenga.
Yeah. So Ross can start a song and say bazenga.
Oh, I'm going to tell him after this. I'm going to tell him.
That's what's up. Yeah. So thank you so much for spending time talking to us. Looking forward to seeing you when you touch down in Nairobi or when I come over. Either way, whoever.
Hold on. Can I call Ross right now and tell him bazenga?
Sure. Go ahead.
Well, hold on. Wait. You got to hold on. I'm going to see if I get him.
All right. I'm holding on.
Hold on. Let me see if I can get him. So this is Swahili, right?
Swahili slang, yeah.
Hey, Ross.
Yo.
I'm live in Kenya right now with Willis.
What's up, Ross?
What's happening, Willis? What's happening?
So I just learned something that I got to share with you.
Talk to me.
You're the bazinga.
Bazenga.
Yeah.
Wait, did we say it right?
It is bazenga.
Bazenga. You know what bazenga means, Ross?
They gotta mean the biggest ball.
There you go.
You're the bazinga.
Absolutely amazing.
Hey, Willis.
I'm so proud, and I can't wait to come there too.
Yeah, Willis already agreed. He's going to come in when we shoot the video in Kenya. He's coming on. All right.
What'd you say, B?
I said when we go to Kenya, he's going to be in our video too. All right.
That's right.
We're gonna turn up.
That's right.
I love it.
Bazenga.
Thanks, Ross. Bazinga!
Bazenga! Thank you so much. That's amazing. Thank you so much. You have absolutely made my entire week. It's made.
Good.
Thank you.
Well, now you got to hold a bottle of Belaire and shout to the world, Bazinga.
I'm actually going to do that, and then I'm going to tag you and Ross. I'm going to do that on Instagram.
I love it. Thank you, Willis. Like, really appreciate the time on this. Thanks for the love.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for the love.
All right.